video for you today. We talking about, the extraordinary accomplishments of the Pan-African movement, talking about the bookstores and schools that have been set up all over Black America, educating our peoples in all aspects of life, knowledge, history, culture, religion, technology. It's amazing what the community has done. But today, we got a lot of scam artists out here putting out this false information about what Pan-Africanism is. And most of y'all, if you just check for yourself and you go to your local bookstore and whatnot, you will see it's the Pan-African community that put bookstores all over Black America, where you could come in there and get your, I guarantee you, the bookstores are the temples. That just show you something. That show you the different ideology. The FBA still the church. They still go to the church to do what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? They move and the church, Democrat, Republican, apple pie, 4th of July, all that shit. They celebrate Juneteenth. I don't fuck with no Juneteenth. I don't celebrate. Ain't no man set me free. I set myself free. You know what I'm saying? So anybody out there, they celebrate, nigga, you ain't free yet. You talking about some damn Juneteenth, and your ass ain't free yet. And so, but, that's the one, the great accomplishments. When you go around, it's because it's all about knowledge. It's all about truth. It's all about knowledge, where you can educate yourself, do research for yourself, prove it to be true or not true yourself. People got to put the information in front of you. You got to take time to read it. You got to go and look up everything in the book. You got to go in the bibliography and read the books that had a profound influence on the book you read. You got to go behind them. You got to study. That's a beautiful lifelong attribute of what they call what is what is that word I'm looking for? Anyway, it'll pop in my head, but it's similar. What is it called? The virtue. Virtue. That's the word I'm looking for. A virtue. To want to research and go behind people and not just believe what they saying. To do the research. So this is profound that we show. So when you go into your community, I want you to go to the local Black bookstore, and I guarantee you that they Pan-Africanists. It was not no FBA, Pan-African. But the thing about the Pan-African, that they also have Black history right here in America. They look at that as being a part of the greater Pan-African community. So that, yes, you could go in there and you get the greats of Black America. You can go get history in Asia and all over the world, in the Americas, Olmecs, and all of that. And that's the thing about, we're a global community. So you're going to get history and knowledge from all over the world. So that's one of the key aspects. Now you go to the Neander, where you go to the FBA, they Christian. So the dominant book gonna be the Bible. Believe it. Even if they gonna spin off and tell you it's about lineage, because they got a lot of shit hiding behind the fucking that they don't want you to know about. So it's about lineage. That means you can be interracial. You can because it's all about your lineage. As long as your lineage, you cool with them. You could have an interracial relationship. You could be a Christian. You could be a Muslim. You could be all of the shit that the Pan-African community has exposed. And so the only attribute, see, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's a cesspool. That's a cesspool. Y'all don't even got to know what is the moral foundation that y'all go. You got to have some morality. You got to be bigger than just lineage. So what is the morality that motherfuckers go by? Yeah, he said, I don't care whether he that ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? We talking about something bigger than that. You feel what I'm saying? Matter of fact, that just costs you. That just costs you. You out of here. Period. Bingo. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, we talking about and the schools. Like I said, if you go to the if you go to right there in your community, go do some research. See who opened up the black schools, who opened up charter school, who was the first. That happened under the consciousness of Pan African. That's why everybody started opening up black charter schools and things of that nature. You see Timbuktu. I know up in Detroit you got Timbuktu. You got Marcus Garvey Academy. You got Malcolm X Academy. You got Paul Robeson Academy. It's the fourth academy, I don't know. Then you got the Oster Schule. You know what I'm saying? African centers that opened up and came up out of that paradigm of European thinking. No FBA. Y'all don't even exist. Y'all some niggas that came into existence on YouTube. Y'all don't have no presence. You don't have no resume whatsoever. You know, and you came out on reparations. If you don't do that, then what? You're going to move to something else. You're going to try to move to something, which we done already said, black power. So now you want to boycott, but you don't really want to practice black power because you still want to be intertwined with the European to some extent. Because if you didn't want to be intertwined, you wouldn't give a fuck about boycotting. You would just practice black power. There ain't no need to boycott nobody when you practicing black power economics, which clearly state from the general, that's my interpretation, that at least 93% of all the black dollars should flip and should never leave the black community. It should be a business for every necessity of life and existence in the black community where a black person owns that. And so you should be able to keep that dollar flipping. You understand? 93% of the dollar. What the fuck is a boycott? That ain't shit. What the fuck is a boycott? That just show you wasn't practicing black power. That's all that's showing. I'm a boycott. Fuck you. I ain't boycotting shit. I ain't thinking about you no more. I mean, you ain't even a part of the program. You ain't even a part of the blueprint. The boycott, that means if you boycott the motherfucker, you might go back to him. That's what it sounds like to me. If he cry and beg you and say, "Oh, I'll treat you nice this time," you might go back. That's what a boycott saying. But black power mean fuck you. I'm never gonna ever spend my dollar with you ever again. So ain't no sense even calling it a boycott. You understand what I'm saying? You have been banned in the black community. You've been banned. We practice black power economics. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what's very important that people need to know about the Pan-African community, that we opened up the black bookstores in America. Those are our temples. So that show you we intellectuals. You see what I'm saying? We're intellectuals. You know, we about knowledge. We about spreading a book list of all different kind of information where you can educate yourself. You see what I'm saying? And this is where the lectures was, where you bring out, ain't no other community bring out so many lecturers and teachers in so many fields and subjects to these bookstores over the last 30 years. You see what it's a shame that, because niggas, once they get off into this computer shit and whatever, a lot of people don't want to read no damn more. You know what I'm saying? So everything has become computerized, but the reading opened up a certain chambers in the mind that nothing else could do. Reading and writing, most definitely writing too. Those are, that's magical to a large extent, because the reading and reading stay in your motherfucking mind longer than anything. You could keep calling that shit up. You know what I'm saying? When you read something, that shit stay in your mind longer than just listening to it. No, reading it, writing it. When you begin to write, once you read and then you write, take notes, you explain it to yourself and shit, what you read and you writing, that shit stay in your mind forever. It open up different. That's why they don't want you reading. They don't want you writing. They want your ass listening to the music. And the music supposed to be in. And that's why a lot of people, when they study, some people listen to music too. It inspires you. Certain music will inspire you. You know what I'm saying? On a different level, but we won't. And so you got the bookstores versus the one book, the Bible. That you understand what I'm saying, which is a book of allegory and fairy tale. It's a lot of truth, a lot of lies, a lot of truth, a lot of lies. So, you say you should keep Shabbat, brother. Okay, you say I should keep Shabbat. Shabbat. Okay, what is that? The Sabbath. That's the Sabbath. And so, what should I do on that day? Tell me about what keeping the Shabbat is. Put it down there. Let me turn off my stove. Right in there what the Shabbat is. Yeah, what's the Shabbat? With eating bread, what I gotta do? Yeah. I just want to know what I gotta. He say, here we go. What I gotta do? Eat bread, and I got what I gotta. I gotta sacrifice a goat. Turn off electron. I'd already do that. I've been doing that. I mean, that ain't nothing. I've been doing that. Do you know I used to stay up, I used to stay, I had a upstairs, back in the day, and I used to stay upstairs all day, and I didn't do nothing but read. I didn't have on no electronics. I didn't have on nothing. I just read nothing but I didn't read no Torah. I was reading Dr. Ben. I'm talking about from the time I got up to the time I went to sleep. I used to do whole days of nut, and that was my life, not just on no damn Sunday. I was, I would do that for whole summers, whole year. And I ain't gonna say, I know I did a whole lot of summers like that. You know what? I just stayed, and I ain't gonna lie, got me a little tree, went up there, and I was like a priest, nigga. I was like a monk. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, family, I already do that already. So I just wanted to hear and just let you know that black people in many different spiritual foundations, they do some of the same things anyway. But anyway, I appreciate y'all coming out. Make sure y'all click that link down there, Patreon, General Seti, 2 Raw for YouTube, over 600 exclusive live streams, kingseti.com, General Seti, one stop on Etsy, and I'll be back. Man, we rocking all day. You feel me? Black Pop.